Hello, YouTube. I would encourage those of you who are disposed to do so to look at this passage from an ecological perspective and also ask yourselves exactly what has the modern world done for us to improve what is described here. I will spoil it for you and say I don't think it's done much. Anyway, okay. Their marriage code is strict, and in no other part of their manners are they to be praised more than in this. For almost alone among barbarian peoples they're content with one wife each, excepting those few who because of their high position, rather than out of lust, enter into more than one marriage engagement. The wife does not bring a dowry to the husband, but the husband to the wife. The parents and relatives are present at the ceremony, and examine and accept the presents, gifts not suited to female luxury, nor such as a young bride would deck herself with, but oxen, a horse and bridle, and a shield, together with a spear and sword. In consideration of these offerings the wife is accepted, and she in turn brings her husband a gift of weapons. This they consider as the strongest bond, these as their mystic rites, their gods of marriage. Lest the woman should think herself excluded from aspiring to share in heroic deeds and in the dangers of war, she is admonished by the very initiatory ceremonies of matrimony that she is becoming the partner of her husband's labors and dangers, destined to suffer and to dare with him alike in peace and war. The yoke of oxen, the caparisoned horse, the gift of arms, give this warning. So must she live, so must she die. What things she receives, she must hand down to her children worthy and untarnished, and such that future daughters-in-law may receive them and pass them on to her grandchildren. Thus they live in well-protected virtue, uncorrupted by the allurements of show or the enticement of banquets. Men and women alike know not the secrecy of correspondence. Though the race is so numerous, adultery is very rare, its punishment being immediate and inflicted by the injured husband. He cuts off the woman's hair in the presence of her kinsfolk, drives her naked from his house, and flogs her through the whole village. Indeed, the loss of chastity meets with no indulgence. Neither beauty, youth, nor wealth can procure the guilty woman a husband, for no one there laughs at vice, nor is corrupting and being corrupted spoken of as the way of the world. Those tribes do better still where only the virgins marry and where the hope and aspiration of married life is done with once and for all. They accept one husband just as they have one body and one life, that they may have no thought beyond this, no further desire, that their love may be as it were not for the married state but for the husband. To limit the number of children or to put any of the later children to death is considered a crime, and with them good customs are of more avail than good laws elsewhere. In every household the children grow up naked and unkempt into that lusty frame and those sturdy limbs that we admire. Each mother nurses her own children. They are not handed over to servants and paid nurses. The lord and the slave are in no way to be distinguished by the delicacy of their bringing up. They live among the same flocks, they lie on the same ground, until age separates them and valor distinguishes the freeborn. The young men marry late, and their vigor is thereby unimpaired. Nor is the marriage of girls hastened. They must have the same youthful vigor, the same stature as the young men. Thus well matched and strong when they marry, the children reproduce the robustness of their parents. An uncle shows the same regard for his sister's children as he does their own father. Some tribes consider this relationship more sacred and binding than any other, and in taking hostages lay special stress upon it on the ground that they secure thus a stronger hold on the mind and have a wider pledge for the family. A man's heirs and successors, however, are his own children, and no wills are made. If there are no children, the next heirs are the brothers. Then come the paternal and maternal uncles. The more relatives a man has, and the greatest the number of children and greater the number of his connections, the more honored is his old age. Childlessness has no advantages. A German is required to adopt not only the feuds of his father or of a relative, but also their friendships, though the enmities are not irreconcilable. For even homicide is expiated by the payment of a certain number of cattle, and the whole family accept the satisfaction, a useful practice as regards the state because feuds are more dangerous where there is no strong legal control. No other race indulges more freely in entertainments and hospitality. It is considered a crime to turn any mortal man away from one's door. According to his means, each one receives those who come with a well-furnished table. When his food has been all eaten up, he who had lately been the host becomes the guide and companion of his guest to the next house, which they enter uninvited. There is no distinction between guests. They are all received with like consideration. No one makes any difference between friend and stranger so far as concerns the rights of hospitality. If the guest on going away asks for any gift, it is customary to grant it to him, and the host on his side feels the same freedom from constraint in making a request. They take great pleasure in presents, but they do not reckon them as favors, nor do they put themselves under obligations in accepting them. So that's just a little bit of that. And that was written around 100 AD by the Roman historian Tacitus when he visited the wild country up north. Okay, again, look at it ecologically, and please take a moment to compare that to the systematization of the current day. Okay, bye.